Today we're going to figure out how to create different colored buttons, kind of like how I have here on Squarespace, or you can use it as like directional navigation, again with different colors, with links that bring you down to certain sections within the same page. So this could be really helpful if you're trying to bring people to different content, different places, and you want to kind of spruce it up and make it look nicer versus just sticking within the regular sort of button templates. So as you can see on my blog page, I have these different colored buttons. Now each one serves as a singular link and it essentially goes to different tagged content. So for example, if I choose podcast, it'll bring me to the page that only has podcast related blog posts. Now, if you want to just do the links where it drops down to a certain point in the page, I also have that. For example, here, if I were to actually click on this link, it would bring it down to this section, the Quitter Starter Pack, or again, each of these sections have a different link. So I'm going to break out the code and how to do that for both of these things. So basically, you're going to go to your Squarespace account, you're going to go to your website, and you're going to choose your page. So in this case, we're going to work through this blog page. So here, what you're going to do, we'll start with a new block, just a basic section. And essentially what you're going to do is add in the text that you want. So in this case, let's say you're, I don't know, a health creator and you do things like meal plans, workout regimens, things like that. So let's do like healthy meal plans. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to add your link to that. So maybe again, it's dropped down to a different page, but in this case, let's do, maybe it's a different, your Pinterest boards or something like that. So in this case, I'm just going to add a basic link right here. So basically, right, you have a regular link like this. So in order to create this link into these buttons, all you have to do is add color to the background. So this is a newer feature. So in this case, one of the first things I want to do is change the background color. So here you can choose, right, toggle on background, and you can do, I did a stroke. So I did, you know, I changed the thickness of it and all of that stuff. And you can make it rounded if you want. Right now I just square because that's within my branding. You can choose different padding if you want it to be large or small. And then of course you can actually choose the background color. So in this case, I'm just going to go with my regular colors for my brand, and you can actually change the text here. So basically you come in here and let's say you change it to white. You also want to center it and you want to, you know, change it to bold. So now it looks more like this. I uppercase mine, but again, do yours with how you want to do it based on your fonts and things like that. But now the last thing with this button, because it's basically ready to go, is to get rid of this underline. So basically you're going to highlight it. You're going to go over to this little section, the highlight, and essentially what you're going to do is you're going to choose the background color, and you're going to choose the background color to be the same as the background you already chose. So in this case, it's like this purpley color. And so now you have an active button. So that's if you want to go either to a different link, but if you want to jump down the page, what you're going to do is a little bit different, but it's very, very similar. Also, if this ever happens where it gives you a hard time with sizing, you just have to go back to this and change the padding to small. And also sometimes what ends up happening is you have too much text, so you have to go back and, you know, edit it, but you can bring it back up if you change the padding to small. So let's do the same thing, but with jumping down to a different section. So in this case, I only have my blog posts and stuff like that. So I'm just going to create a mock section at the very bottom for right now, just a basic section. Just blank. I'll just add text so we know what we're talking about. Let's say it's like about the author, right? We would beautify this section. But in this case, I'm just going to show you how we can jump down the page. So we're going to change the text. So let's say about the author. Again, same thing you would go about before, making it all pretty and stuff, choosing it to your liking, centering it how you want, stuff like that. So now the next point is we have to add a code block, and we also have to divert this link to said code block. So essentially, you're going to go down to that section. So the about the author, and you're going to add code. So you're going to click that, and essentially you're going to put in right next to it. This is the where it's diverting, you know, that link. So I already have the code for me, but basically what you're going to do is name this section. So let's say about the author. It's super simple. You could just copy and paste this, but you have to remember this is the important part right here, is what you put in between these, you know, the ID essentially, because this ID is going to be linked to the link at the top that brings it down and tells it where to go. So that's good. We have that code block right next to the title or the top of the section. So if you go back up to the top and you click on this box and you want to add the text, you essentially just do hashtag and about the author. So again, same thing. If we want to get rid of that underline, you just click on the background text and you change the color and you're good to go. So now, right, if I clicked this, it would bring us to Pinterest. And if I clicked this, it would actually bring us down the page. Now, the one thing here to remember is that if you're using a link, You want to make sure to toggle this off if you don't want to open up another tab. So I'm going to toggle that off. And now if I press save and go to refresh my blog page and I click on it, it's just going to jump down the page to that section. So now you have two ways to use buttons, and of course you can change them so that they look like this. So I just have 5 unique buttons in a row, and it pretty much just stays like that. Now for mobile optimization, that's a different sort of conversation, but at least now you have 2 options to basically make a custom button and have different options if you want to stay within your website and drop down on a page, or go to a different page if you wanted to. I hope this helps. This was driving me nuts for a while, so I'm sure someone out there is going to benefit from it. But if you like this, like and subscribe, and please let me know in the comments if there's any other little Squarespace tips and tricks you want me to share about.